you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
Welcome to another edition of Good Morning Fort Sill. We've got news from area installations along with the latest national and international military stories for you coming up on this Wednesday. But as always, let's kick things off with a look at today's weather. Ulysses, a much warmer start to this morning. Is that a sign of things to come?
Well, Kyle, yes. We're trending warmer here across the area, and that's going to be the main thing we're going to notice here as we make our way towards the end of the week and going into the start of the weekend. Yesterday, though, 94 degrees, low temperature 70 degrees. Keep in mind, Monday we had a low temperature of 64 degrees, but that was because of the fact that we did have those storms pushing through the area. But still below average day for yesterday. 98, 72 are the normal temperatures across the region. Looking over what's happening when it comes to your tower cam right now, we're looking at our Chickasha Chamber of Commerce tower cam, and really for the most part we're dealing with a clear start to the day. Clear skies, really no complaints here for your morning PT forecast. 75 degrees, 7-mile-an-hour winds, 4 degrees warmer from this time yesterday across Fort Sill. And looking at that PT forecast here, we're going to see those temperatures drop down just slightly, a little bit more, around 70 degrees before we start climbing things once again. We'll make our way into the upper 90s by this afternoon. We'll see the triple digits really becoming more of a factor as we make our way towards the end of the week. There are some minimal rain chances along the way, along with some breezy conditions. We'll break down all those details in just a bit.
Today marks the 80th anniversary of the United States dropping the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima in Japan. On August 6, 1945, the bomb known as Little Boy killed 140,000 people. Thousands more would die later due to injuries and radiation-related illness. Another bomb was dropped on Nagasaki just 3 days later, killing tens of thousands more. The attacks led to Japan's surrender on August 15th and the end of World War II. In Japan, they are remembering those who lost their lives in the bombing. Thousands, including representatives from 120 countries, came together for a ceremony at Hiroshima's Peace Memorial Park. Activists gathering in front of the atomic bomb dome, singing songs of pacifism. They also paused to observe a moment of silence at 8:15 a.m. That was the exact time that the bomb was dropped. Among the activists, an 80-year-old Hiroshima resident who was born 1 month after the bombing. Fort Sill resumed its monthly Sillfax Town Hall this week. Fort Sill Garrison Commander Colonel Baird recognized non-commissioned officers for their professionalism and quick action during the Tinker Air Show. They were able to perform immediate medical assistance when a young attendee experienced a heat-related medical emergency. With a lot of newcomers on post, leaders also briefed attendees on a wide variety of topics, including the first day of school and a variety of school programs.
First day of school, there tends to be a lot of anxiety that forms around the first day of school and getting your child ready. Your teachers and staff at your individual schools are going to be there to assist you. If you don't have all the first day of school supplies, it's okay. They're going to send you home with a list of what you're missing. Each district, when you go to register your child, has a list of basic supplies.
Myers cautioned drivers on post to pay attention to children who might be crossing the roads to get to school. And Fort Sill is hosting a back-to-school bash on Friday. The event will be held at the Youth Center from 6 until 7:30. There will be a free school supply giveaway while supplies last, along with other giveaways and plenty of other activities for the kids. Representatives from Cameron University, Columbia College, and several other schools will be on site to talk about higher education. The event is open to DoD cardholders only. There is a limit of 2 backpacks per cardholder if children are not present. The Outdoor Adventure Center on Fort Sill is hosting their Junior Ranger program on Saturday. The event will be happening from 2 until 3 in the afternoon. Rangers can engage in fun activities and scenarios. This week's theme is Cave Scientist. It's free to attend. For more information, you can call the number on your screen. Shepherd Air Force Base is helping a high school in Ohio become the first school in the country to receive a decommissioned Air Force Thunderbird jet. The Union Local Afterburners, the local committee which petitioned to obtain the jet, said they worked to bring the aircraft to the school as a reminder of, quote, American military service, aviation history, and community spirit. The engine and seats will be removed from the aircraft while it's staying at Shepherd. The jet is expected to arrive and be installed on campus in the spring of 2026. Altus Air Force Base is recognizing their best and brightest in their Airman of the Month award. June's recipient is Airman First Class Desmond Davis. A1C Davis works for the 97th Contracting Flight. He says he strives to embody the Air Force core value, excellence in all we do every day. Davis says other airmen who are striving to achieve his level of success can do so by, quote, staying focused on the mission, take care of your team, and never stop learning. Excellence comes from commitment and continuous improvement. The Space and Missile Defense Symposium is taking place this week in Huntsville, Alabama. Coming up, we'll have a preview of this year's event.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing?
Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are. Here's your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Ulysses Garcia.
Welcome back, everyone. Looking over our Jackson County Memorial Hospital Tower cam in Altus, and really clear skies here on this early Wednesday morning. And you can see maybe just a few of the stars here on our tower cam. You can see a little dot there, a little of a brighter star there. And overall, though, we're actually dealing with a waxing gibbous. It's actually probably been setting here over the last few hours here across Texoma, but we're getting closer towards the full moon for the month of August in the next couple of days. Looking at your temperatures right now, 76 in Hobart, 75 in Altus and Frederick. Off towards the east, 73 in Duncan, 72 in Chickasha. As we make our way towards the south, 75 in Wichita Falls, 74 in Graham, 78 in Vernon, 75 degrees over towards Kroll. And we really kind of have a similar setup to yesterday. That upper level high pretty much just off towards the west here, but just enough influence where we'll keep us breezy. Low pressure just a smidge off towards the east now into parts of Indiana, Ohio, and parts of Michigan, but just close enough that we'll have those breezy conditions. But really, we're going to enjoy lots of sunshine here through the next couple of days, so it's going to be fantastic out there. Looking at your morning PT forecast at Fort Sill, temperatures for the most part starting off in the lower 70s here at 6 and 7 a.m., and then we'll start pushing into the upper 70s by the time we head towards 9 a.m. For today, we'll top out at 98, but we'll have feels like temperatures just over 100. For tonight, 72 degrees, mostly clear skies, seasonable. And as we look ahead over the next 7 days, we're going to see those temperatures in the triple digits, feels like temperatures into the upper 100s. Chances of rain do creep in for the weekend and early next week.
The Department of Defense has announced a $10 million contract to the Elk Creek Resources Corporation under Title III of the Defense Production Act. Elk Creek is developing the country's first polymetallic deposit targeting near-term production of scandium, niobium, titanium, and other critical minerals. The goal of the project is to facilitate domestic mineral production. The ECRC decision is one of 10 awards made by the DPA Purchases Office, totaling over $330 million since the beginning of fiscal year 2025. The Department of Defense is reducing the size of the workforce at the Defense Technical Information Center. According to the Pentagon, the DTIC will cut the staff down to 40 civilian positions. Chief Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell says this decision eliminates duplicative functions and will refocus DTIC to its core statutory mission of administering a library of technical information and improving the user experience. The move is expected to save $25 million a year. Reduction in force notices are expected to go out August 25th. The Space and Missile Defense Symposium is taking place this week in Huntsville, Alabama. This 4-day event brings defense and national experts together to network and highlight industry projects. Large and small defense contractors, along with small businesses that want to get a foot in the door with the Defense Department, were all on hand yesterday. Industry leaders stressed the critical need for innovation and how all military branches work together at Space Command to coordinate and defend America from 62 miles high.
See the importance of, missile defense, and so this has really come to the forefront. The whole Golden Dome, Trump inspired this thing after seeing what's going on, and so the threat that's out there between, drones and missiles and stuff like that. So the importance of, air and missile defense has probably never been greater.
U.S. Space Command Commander General Stephen Whiting has also spoke at the event and acknowledged the need for unity in space exploration. Well, new reports have surfaced in the Titan submersible tragedy coming up, why experts say the incident could have been prevented.
Every evening, 7 News is uncovering breaking stories that impact Texoma. 7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6.
The VA plans to stop nearly all abortions from being performed at VA medical centers. The Department of Veterans Affairs published the information this week in the Federal Register. The VA will return to regulations that were in place prior to 2022, which excludes abortions from its medical services coverage unless the pregnancy threatens the life of the mother. Abortion counseling will also be left out of its medical benefits package. The regulations were previously in place from 1999 until a 2022 Supreme Court decision forced the VA to change course. Public comments can be submitted through regulations.gov. The U.S. Coast Guard has released its final report into the deadly implosion of the Titan submersible. 5 lives were lost trying to explore the Titanic. As ABC's Melissa Don explains, the scathing report points the blame at one man, OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush.
More than 2 years after the deadly implosion of OceanGate's Titan submersible, the U.S. Coast Guard releasing its final report, calling the incident that killed 5 people preventable. In June of 2023, Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, offered 4 high-paying passengers a chance to visit the wreckage of the Titanic. But less than 2 hours into their journey, they lost contact with its support vessel.
The board feels it was actually predictable that the hull was experiencing damage that was cumulative and eventually would fail.
According to the report, the catastrophic implosion happened 7 seconds after the sub's final message was sent to the surface.
The most surprising point is that the Titan submersible was able to operate in a high-profile manner for several years, without really receiving any regulatory or third-party oversight.
The final findings of the U.S. Coast Guard says a false sense of safety and security was created by Rush through his unproven claims of Titan's carbon fiber and titanium technology. The Coast Guard finding he misled mission specialists, exaggerated numbers of hull test drivers, and made false claims on safety margins.
That negligence to monitor the maintenance, keep the vessel, out of the elements during the winter ahead of the 2023 operations. Those types of actions were highly negligent.
The Coast Guard says had Rush survived, it would have recommended manslaughter charges be brought on against the OceanGate CEO. Melissa Don, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Thanks, Melissa. NASA wants the United States to be the first nation to put a nuclear reactor on the moon. Acting NASA Administrator Sean Duffy has directed the space agency to fast-track plans to do just that. Duffy, who is also Transportation Secretary, explained the reasoning in a news conference this week.
We are in a race to the moon, in a race with China to the moon, and to have a base on the moon, we need energy. Energy is important, and if we're going to be able to sustain life on the moon to then go to Mars, this technology is critically important.
In a directive dated last week, Duffy says China and Russia are working on plans to put a reactor on the moon in a joint project by the mid-2030s. NASA's Artemis 3 mission is currently planned for 2027. It's expected to return humans to the surface of the moon for the first time in more than 5 decades. Fort Polk in Louisiana is celebrating the completion of a solar panel power generation project. The project includes an on-site installation power generation, which will provide energy benefits to over 1,800 military homes. It's part of a broader effort to enhance U.S. Army energy security, independence, and readiness. Previously, military bases like Fort Polk have relied on the civilian power grid for their energy, which makes them vulnerable to natural disasters, cyber attacks, and physical attacks. Officials with the project say getting everything funded, approved, and set up properly was a years-long process.
This project here is 10 years in the making, and it supplies enough energy that would power about half the 3,600 homes here at Fort Park. To me, the most interesting thing is what you can accomplish when you bring a bunch of different partners together that want the same thing for the same reasons. We appreciate everybody's support and all of the people who came out today to celebrate.
The DoD says projects like this one are critical to helping them achieve their goals of a reduction in installation energy use. A Confederate statue that was toppled during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 is being reinstalled by the Trump administration. According to the National Park Service, the bronze statue of Albert Pike will be reinstalled near the U.S. Capitol. Pike was a Confederate general and leader of the Freemasons who fought to protect slavery during the Civil War. The reinstallment is part of President Trump's broader effort to restore Confederate monuments that were destroyed in the protests. The president has also moved to restore the names of Army bases that were named for Confederate officials. Well, residents in Maine are searching for answers after 50 headstones of veterans were vandalized. Witnesses say vandals ripped American flags off the veterans' graves and toppled over headstones, some of which date all the way back to the Revolutionary War. While some of the flags have been replaced, fixing the headstones may be next to impossible.
Some of it can be repaired, some of it, I don't know. The stones are so old. If we can repair them, they'll never be exactly what they were. Who would want to knock over old stones? They're not bothering anybody. They've been there for 150 plus years. People that built this community, people that served their country. Why are you destroying that, their marker that's been there forever? Why are you destroying the American flag?
Those from the cemeteries committee say they will be putting out a cash reward for any information that leads to an arrest or conviction in the matter. Well, after that story, I think we could all use some good news. An 11-year-old in Odessa, Texas has made fast friends with a veteran after saluting them on their doorbell camera. Mary Kate Hamilton has more on how that one simple gesture has touched the man's heart.
A simple sign of respect captured on a Ring door camera captured one Midland veteran's heart.
I just couldn't believe what I was seeing from an 11-year-old child. And it's a lot of respect, and it means a lot to a veteran.
Zaria Robertson, just 11 years old, was in the neighborhood passing out business cards for her father's lawn care company. That's when she came to Billy Miles' door and paused. The gesture took just a couple of seconds, but the effect, impossible to measure.
I cannot tell you what it means, because it's that proudful for a small child to understand what she's saluting. And so it made me proud.
After checking his Ring camera footage, Miles knew what he had to do.
When I saw her saluting, I said, I got to get a hold of these people.
With the business card Zaria left, he was able to find Zaria's dad, and then Zaria.
I hugged her neck and told her how proud I was of her while I was bawling. So.
It's a story that shows sometimes the smallest gestures made by some of the smallest people have the biggest impact.
There's great in everybody. And there's a whole lot of great in that young lady right there. A whole lot of great. And I hope she maybe one day can salute the flag in a uniform.
An Army major recovering from the effects of Red Hill's toxic water crisis in Hawaii is finding healing through the military's Warrior Games. Amanda Feintz has been a vocal advocate for the families exposed to fuel-contaminated water in 2021. The military says the games help wounded, ill, and injured service members recover by giving them a way to participate in adaptive sports like cycling, swimming, and track and field events.
Being here isn't just for me. It's never been about me or my own family. It's been about everyone who is impacted. And so, these medals are for Team Army, but they're also for the Red Hill community.
Major Feint continues to speak out about what happened at Red Hill and says she will always be an advocate for the thousands affected by the tainted water.
With meteorologist Ulysses Garcia.
Good morning, happy Wednesday on your Duncan Regional Hospital Tower Cam in Duncan. Overall, things are quiet here as we are starting off your hump day. Temperatures from this time yesterday to now, everybody has at least been on the plus side. So we're warmer, 4 degrees in Lawton, 5 in Elk City and Childress, 6 in Vernon, 2 in Wichita Falls, 3 in Frederick. Looking at those feels like temperatures when you add the humidity for today, we'll be in the lower 100s for the most part. But as we make our way into tomorrow, we're really going to see a little more of an uptick in the temperatures along with the humidity. And we can see those temperatures making their way into the mid 100s, maybe even some spots pushing into the upper 100s as we go Thursday and Friday. So there is that potential maybe by the time we get towards Thursday and Friday where we could see a heat advisory across the area. It's also going to be breezy starting today. We're going to have those wind gusts around 25. And notice how it just carries on here as we go through the next couple of days with gusts at times up to 30 miles an hour all the way through Sunday across Texoma. Looking at your PT forecast here, temperatures are going to be in the lower 70s in the early going, but once that sun rises, we'll quickly be warming things up into the upper 70s already by the mid-morning hours around 9 a.m. in Fort Sill. For this afternoon, we'll be hovering right upper 90s to 100 across the area. Looking over into your 7-day forecast here, we're going to see those temperatures for the most part pushing into the triple digits Thursday through Saturday. And as we go into early next week, we'll be in the upper 90s. Just slim rain chances Saturday through Tuesday.
Yeah, unfortunately, the hottest day there is Friday, 102. And of course, Friday is a military appreciation night at the rodeo. So hopefully things will cool down by the time it gets to about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, hopefully maybe those winds, maybe in a way, hopefully they'll provide a little bit of a, of a break there, hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, thanks for watching. Good morning, Fort Sill.